Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Larry Bodenheimer, and today we're taking a look at RustInstall. RustInstall is a 32-bit adware that affects modern Windows operating systems. And if we take a look at it over here in VirusTotal, we can see that it only has one detection. Now that may sound weird to you, however, once you realize that most AM companies are usually only looking for Trojans or rats or ransomware, something like this isn't really going to hit their radar because they're looking for C2 servers and they're looking for encryption of your files. So when something like this isn't siphoning off your data, passes on to the system, the vast majority of companies aren't going to detect it. Now, this is still an unusual case because most of the time, adwares still get detected by some AV companies. And I should note that when I got this malware, it was last analyzed 4 days ago, and nobody detected it. But now CrowdStrike Falcon gives it a grayware confidence of 60%, and still nobody's detecting it. If we come over here to details, we can also see that it has a, where is it? It has a signature date of February 24th. The first submission date was 4 days ago, and the last submission was just a few minutes ago by yours truly. If we come over to detections, we can see the tags for this video are portable executable, assembly, detects debug environment, overlay, signed, checks user input, and long sleeps. And nobody else is detecting it. No point in going through all that. Your MD5, SHA-1, and SHA-256 for the video are right here. If you're new to the channel, this will also be in the comment section down below, so you don't have to put this in manually. Creation time is obviously realistic. It is the year 2090. So this guy's from the future. And as we can see, it does say that it is a valid signature and a signed file, so that may also be a reason why it has so few detections, but we'll keep going. If we go to relations, we can see there's one contacted URL, statifer.ru, worldoftanks.ico. Keep that in mind. No detections, though. Two contacted domains, statifer.ru and microsoft.com. 5 contacted IPs, however. One of these shows as the US, which is a Microsoft IP. The others don't show at all. And these two 188s do have detections. This one has 2 detections, and this one has 7, which is interesting. We come down to bundled files. Doesn't really show anything, but we'll see that when we run the malware for ourselves. We go to behavior. Again, I don't spend much time on behavior on this channel, but if you don't want to follow along directly, this is your chance to look for yourself. We have no shut the hell up. We have no sandbox detections. We only have one MITRE signature, and that signature would be, oh, I don't want to open all that. Command and scripting interpreter. Okay. So 30 infos and a low. I'm just going to try to find the low really quick. Discovery, collection, command and control, impact. It doesn't show. Alright, that's great. Well, anyway, here's your info in case you want to look. Pause at any point. Okay. So now we'll go ahead and... I'm not minimizing all that, forget it. We can also see that there are no IDS rules and no Sigma rules. And last but not least for VirusTotal, if we come over to community, we can see there's only one comment, and it is Joe Security. Shut up! He gives it a verdict of malicious and a score of 42 out of 100. So we'll go ahead and minimize that. And now we will show the tools we'll be using to analyze the malware. We have System Informer, which I'll go ahead and minimize all of that really quick. There we go. Process Monitor, which I will go ahead and resize the path so we can read everything once the malware is running. Wireshark, which I'll go ahead and reset the packet capture for now. And Zooey, which we'll just keep in the middle. Alright, last but not least, let's take a look at the properties for this file. As we can see, if we go to details, it does say RustInstall, file version, product version 1.0.0.0. It does have an okay-ish looking copyright. Language neutral, original file name rustinstall.exe, which is what we have. And digital signatures, LLC Prime with a SHA-256 digest algorithm, which does appear to be valid. That is a personal email address. Do not email this person. I'm not responsible for anything you do just because you see it in my video. If we view the certificate, It's intended for the following purposes: ensure software came from software publisher, protect software from alteration after publication. And it was issued by Global Sign. Valid for 1 year. So fair enough. All right, and that's going to be that. Now we will go ahead and open System Informer, and without any further ado, let's run some malware. Just going to double click it because, as you can see, it does require admin permissions. So, do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? Sure I do. So it will open over here, and it says, welcome to the installer. Click next to select the installation folder and continue. You will be able to install additional applications in the following steps. Yippee! And then over here, the buttons say cancel and next. So click next. And then it does say select the installation folder and click next. And you've got review here. Once you select a folder, we will detect your geo to suggest relevant apps. And installer, cancel next. So I'm not going to say it now, but I will wait until we get to the end of this just to give my opinion on it. But I'm going to go ahead and click next. That's fine. And of course, who would have guessed? Additional extensions. Install Opera. Click next to install or skip to decline. License agreement and privacy policy. License agreement open. Privacy policy open. And if I try to open these really quick, it does actually open the EULA for Opera. Even the website looks shady as hell, but okay. So I'm going to skip this. And then the next one, this is just in English. I mean, 360 total security, more than just an antivirus. Check for viruses, protect your system in real time, clean up the computer, speed up your PC, remove OS vulnerabilities, install 360 total security antivirus. We got the license agreement and privacy policy. I'm going to click skip. Of course. Try the exciting online game World of Tanks. World of Tanks. Legendary online team tank action. 160 million users and 26 prestigious awards. Install World of Tanks. Click next to install or skip to decline. So I'm going to skip. Installing Minecraft. Installing Netcore 3.1. Whoa, 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 whoa. What is all of this Minecraft stuff? I wanted to play Rust install, man. So anyway, at this point, I have no idea what it's installing. That is quite a few events. That's going to make things slow to load, but that's okay. So in testing, it didn't show anything to do with Netcore 3.1. And it's also taking significantly longer to install. Rule of the universe when it comes to recording malware videos. What can go wrong will go wrong. I guess I should just be happy that the computer just didn't outright explode, but, I mean, come on. I don't think we've had a single video in recent history that has done exactly what it did in testing. So now I have to improv, and you guys have to hear my annoying voice while we wait for .NET Core to install. Installation complete. Thank you for installing. Click Done to exit. It does actually say ready. So we'll click that. And if we take a look over here, let's try Minecraft. But we don't have Minecraft, but we came to install Rust anyway. And we don't have Rust. So you may have noticed something. There was a skip button, and then there was a toggle to turn that off. So if you're not sure what I'm talking about, there was a checkbox, but then there was also a button that said skip and a button that said next. Now, because we clicked skip on every single one of those, it didn't matter if we unchecked the box or not because it didn't install. However, this is meant to really throw people off. So we're going to run it again. But before we do, we're also going to take a look in Process Monitor. So we're going to do two filters. I'm also going to pause because I'm done with everything and I'm running out of memory. We're going to do two filters. So we're going to do process name is rustinstall.exe. And we're going to do operation is create file. So we'll click apply. And it's going to take quite a bit of time to filter through that because I'm an idiot and slow and forgot to reset the process capture. But while it's doing that, we can also go ahead and stop this in Wireshark. We're going to save this as 1.pcap, and then we're going to shove it into Zooey. Now, I did not do this in testing. Usually in testing, I only run Process Monitor and System Informer to see if it does anything interesting enough for us to make a video on it. In this case, I thought it did, and it was adware, which is something newish for the channel. We've seen it before, but not in a while. So I thought I'd go ahead and review this one. It should take only around a minute for it to finish filtering in Zooey. But while it's doing that, I am interested in these two IP addresses down here. However, interesting enough, if you paid attention to Joe Security's comment, the host isn't actually either of them. So first we'll go ahead and copy these IPs, and we're going to go to whois and abuse IPDB. I did that in the wrong order. Any second now. Thank you. And we will come over here and just drop the IP address and check. And we can see that it was reported 48 times. Now, surprisingly, this is out of Germany. I expected it to be out of Russia for obvious reasons. But, yeah. It does say, important note, this is an IP address from within our whitelist belonging to the subnet here, which we identify as Cloudflare Reverse Proxy. However, the most recent report was 4 days ago, and it says this is being used as a DDoS attack. Now, these are all from the same company, so do with that as you will. However, we've also got some from Ukraine, port scanning, which is much more believable. This says hacking exploited host web app attack, hacker syslog review, UFW, so that's not uncomplicated firewall. I'm making myself look like an idiot. Actually, it is uncomplicated firewall. I made myself look really stupid. And it looks like it was going for port 80. Study Bitcoin. It says port probe. This is out of Hong Kong. I'm not going to look through every single one of these, but as you can see, it has some reports. And I think the other one was just .97. So we'll just copy and paste this really quick and just change that to a 7. And this one was reported 95 times, and the most recent report was 3 days ago by the same guy. But we do see some other names here as well, blocked on uncomplicated firewall, scan the .net, port 80, HTTPS. Port 80 and HTTPS are different, right? Whatever, I don't care. But as you can see, there's a bunch of reports for this. So we can see it's out of Cloudflare Inc. in Munich, Bavaria in Germany. But I'm going to go ahead and post just one of these into the whois really quick. Alright. That's fine. So we can see we've got an actual address here for the abuse contact. But again, don't go sending mail to any of these places. Don't email, don't call. It's just for educational purposes only. So there you go. That's the whois. The whois for the other one will be the exact same. But now I'm interested in this one. So we'll copy this really quick. There's a wasp in my room. We'll go ahead and we'll try to connect to that directly. Yeah, direct IP address or access not allowed. So we'll try connecting to this one and see what happens. And it's the exact same thing. So these are all hosted on the Cloudflare network and they have direct IP access blocked. But I'll shove this through abuse IPDB really quick. Shouldn't have closed it. My fault. It says this IP has not been reported. Interesting enough. Alright, but other than that, let's go ahead and take a look at Process Monitor. So we'll click Cancel. And if we look through here, we're not going to see too much interesting. So it's calling its own program over and over. Now we can see evidence that this was written in assembly because we've got the .NET Framework folder with an API. And then we've got assembly, and then we've got GAC MSIL. So this is all evidence that it was actually written in assembly, so it looks like VirusTotal was correct in this case. We've got a rustinstall.exe.config. It does look like that was deleted. We got a bunch of DLLs we've seen on the channel before. VM3 Dumb and VM3 Dumb Loader I haven't seen before. Doesn't mean that it's not necessarily, you know, genuine. It comes with the computer, but I have a feeling it came with the malware itself. But if we keep looking through here, we've got a .mun, and we don't see much. It's just calling font. And it's calling those compilers. So this is a weird... do you see what I see? So in this case, it is disabling Windows Defender. But joke's on you, because I already have Windows Defender disabled. And then we're calling some more runtimes and stuff. We've got breadcrumb store, system numerics, vectors, culture, and a public key. But that's fine. And then it does detect that we have VMware on the device. However, it doesn't care because it still works. But that's going to be it. So it really did just say, surprise VMware detection. Anyway, so that's going to be it for that. Now we're going to do this again. So we're going to go ahead and clear process monitor. And we will take a look at it in Zooey. So we'll query the pool. We have 580 rows, so we can take our time with this. We do have a notice, however, this is probably just Microsoft. Yeah, it's a Microsoft IP. Any 20s or 40s are Microsoft. Suricata app layer, wrong direction. That's never anything. Another notice, it's just a certificate. I don't care. Is it Suricata? Indeed it is. We do have 3 alert 3s here, but it's all the same thing. So if any alert 2s or 1s, I'll look at it. However, considering that this isn't actually a rat or an info stealer, I doubt. IPAPI.com. Okay. We've seen that a lot, but that's not indicative of a C2 server. That's just saying that it is actually calling a website to determine the IP address of your device. Which should surprise none of you, considering it said that it was going to do that when you ran the malware. But that's going to be it for Zooey. We don't need this anymore, and we don't really need Wireshark anymore. There's no point. I just wanted to show in this video there is no C2 connection. So now we're going to resume, and this time, we're going to do things a little differently. So I'm going to run the malware again. And now we're going to click through all this, next, next, and this time, I'm going to click off of the checkbox, but I'm also going to click next. So if you do that, for all of these, it's going to install Minecraft again. And as you can see, we have World of Tanks on the device. We have 360 total security on the device. But surprisingly, probably the most vicious, vile, malicious program out of all 3 of those, Opera Browser, did not install. And this is something I noticed in testing. Because in testing, I thought I may have just accidentally clicked skip instead of next. But it's now proving to not be the case. Regardless if you click next or skip, Opera's not on the device. So I don't know what's up with that. Because that's probably the scummiest company out of all 3. But as you can now see, we have World of Tanks and 360 Total Security on the computer. And, yeah. And now we have Minecraft slash, And now we have Minecraft slash Rust on the device. Again. For a second time. Except we already know it's not there. So now we have 360 Total Security running. Now, it did not actually install and auto-run World of Tanks. However, we open World of Tanks. .360 Total Security, everybody! World. They both came from the same installer. And even though this is just a .lnk, oh no! Not my world of tanks! Anyway, I guess we're not opening that. If we open 360 Total Security, we can see that this is actually just 360 Total Security. 360 Instant Setup. Power up your PC with popular software with a single click. Too many withs. Apologize. Select and install popular software with a single click. It will load this, and if we give it a sec, we've got Opera Browser, Line, WhatsApp, AdGuard, a VPN Proxy Manager, and last but not least, 360 Extreme Browser. So yeah, I mean this is just ridiculous. We also get Adobe Acrobat Reader DC and WinRAR. So of course I'm going to install that. By clicking confirm, you acknowledge and agree that 360 Instant Setup will automatically install third-party software you select, and you will not be able to choose third-party software's own installation options. I mean, at least it's nice enough to tell you that. They could have just not said anything. If we click background, it will actually go to the background, and you'll never see it again. And we do see WinRAR. It is installing legitimate programs. However, I don't know how legitimate you could call 360 Extreme Browser and Opera. But as you can see, a bunch of stuff is opening in the background. Just checking OBS really quick to make sure that I have been recording this whole time. Fortunately, I have. But we also saw that... Oh, God. Did it just crash? I think it just crashed. Okay. Fair enough. But yeah, as you can see, there's very interesting things going on. So I'm now going to pause the packet capture again. We don't care what 360 and all that's doing. This isn't an antivirus review video or anything like that. And we know these are legitimate programs. So we'll just go on. Now 360 may interrupt us a few times, and I got a feeling that it's going to, because it just seems like a 360 thing to do. But we'll proceed. Oh no, Master VPN service. Okay, maybe it didn't crash. Anyway, Red Dead Redemption services. I gotta stop getting distracted. Arms VC. Okay, anyway, so if we go back to here, we're gonna see mostly the same things. However, I did just want to show a few new things that have popped up, as we did actually install World of Tanks and 360 against our better judgment. I gotta open that. Stop distracting me. So we're not seeing any new DLLs. I'm minimizing that because that is hitting me like crack hit low-income neighborhoods in the 80s. We can see it's calling the same font file. It's still calling Rust install. We do also have system.text.json, which unfortunately has been deleted. What the fuck? Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. Oh my god. Okay. Minimize that. Default browser has been disabled. I don't know what any of that is. But we'll keep going. It's also checking Defender status again. I'd access the temp directory. However, we've still yet to see anything that has anything to do with persistence, which it's adware. It's not going to have persistence, but I will restart at the end of the video just to show that for sure. We've also got some .ini's 360 Total Security dropped. But we've seen everything. I don't know why Facebook is here. We'll minimize that. And we're at the end of the video, so I'm going to restart in just a second. But I want to see why Facebook is here. God almighty. The item that... Okay, yeah, delete the shortcut, please. What? Okay. Yes. And now we'll try 360 Extreme Browser. Set as your default browser for better service. I'm pretty sure you already did. Oh my god. Chrome is literally just a Chromium fork. I should have expected that. I don't know why I didn't. No. So you already did that. I'm fairly certain you did. Oh no, you set my primary browser as Opera. Oh, okay. You set my email, however, as 360 browser. Ultra. God, this looks so bad. Ultra fast browsing, extremely smooth. 122 cores. Oh, we gotta download that now. Oh, it's literally. It takes us to the download page for the browser. This literally just looks like Edge, but worse. Failed to obtain, retry. I'm assuming that's going to be like your news feed. And then it's got YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Wikipedia, and Amazon. You know what? I'm going to stop here because this has become more of a video about 360 than it has the actual malware. I guess in this case you'd call them both. Whatever. We're getting way too ahead of ourselves. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and restart the computer and check for persistence. Now, I'm sure something will have persistence, and that something would start with a 3 and end with a 60 total security, but we're not going to see any persistence out of the adware itself. Again, we'll restart the computer just to make sure of that, because crazier things have happened, and malware loves to make me look like a total tool. But we'll check really quick. So we will really quickly open System Informer. And as you can see, the startup, it's not dramatically worse, but we would have already had this open. So max screenless. And yeah, as you can see, we've got Kihu Active Defense and Watchdog. And VPN Proxy Monitor starts up by default. Great. And now we have 360 Startup Booster. It boosted me by 16 seconds. Pretty sure it took 16 seconds to start. Well, that may be what it's saying. I don't know. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Show off your score on Facebook. Top 10 things I'm not about to do. Number 1. That. Easy speed up. Okay, whatever. But yeah, as you can see, we don't have any pop-ups from the adware itself. So to get rid of that, all you have to do is just click delete. Unfortunately, the damage has already been done because now you have Opera on your computer. But that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys are new to the channel, please make sure to leave a like, leave a comment in the comment section down below as well, and let me know what you thought about this one. Also, let me know if there's anything I did not do in this video that you want to see in future ones. My name is Larry Bodenheimer. You guys have been amazing, and I will see you in the next one.